no cool call at this house yesterday, and both units were down. So we put a capacitor on the bigger unit. I think it's a 4-ton. And the smaller unit for the upstairs was also not working. And it looked like it was going to be a capacitor, but the motor was just toast. Open windings. It absolutely will not budge. You can move it with your finger pretty easy, but it certainly will not run. So we did not have a universal motor small enough to fit it right, and so I offered the customer an option of bringing back the universal motor today that would fit it, or an OEM motor, which was a bit more, and he chose the OEM motor. There's nobody home, so I'm gonna park in the driveway this time. Catch a little spot of shade right here for my driver's seat, and we're gonna go fix this unit. Like I said, he chose the OEM motor, so we're going to put him an OEM motor in. It is a ICP brand piece of equipment, so it should be a quick, easy swap. And you know, with nobody home, obviously we can't go inside and check the outputs or anything, but we'll certainly throw our gauges on it and see what's going on before we leave. So let's take a look at it and get going.
It'll really get you, because see, all the service manuals come in Japanese, right? Yeah. And then they get translated to American, and then they get translated to Spanish, and it's just like, okay.
Motor we picked up for them.
So that'll really throw a wrench into it.
So that's the OEM. Good
The
Lord.
Japanese read from
1/10 horsepower. So that's a tiny
so
motor.
sometimes things will get lost in translation.
And
What are you talking about?
I think I hear the other one running. The big one's running. ICPs are Hiles. So that one's doing okay, and this one needs the motor. And just take a look at how great the installers did at sticking this thing here. Impossible to even get the door off and on almost. Now, in their defense, maybe that fence wasn't there when they installed it, but I tell you what, it's not going to be any fun getting the wires in and out of and so forth. But let's get going. All right, capacitor and the new motor. I'm going to see if those few little tools will get this job done. And I believe I already see another problem. I'm going to need a stubby 5/16 to get this door off and on. Oh, and in case you're wondering what the racket is, I shouldn't call that racket.
Yeah, they will all break. He's technically right.
I'm listening to Zach and Ralph while I work. It just don't get no better than that. So hopefully they don't bust me on a copyright claim. So let's get this thing apart and see if we can get it done. All right, we got the door off, but look back in here. I mean, it's going to be a real pain. Now, it doesn't look hard at all from where you're at watching on the camera. But I'll tell you what, it is really a pain to reach back in here. And we're not even going to test this cap. We're just going to replace it. It's an El Chinko anyway.
Jeremy scored. Okay, now which team is it? We're talking about the World Cup, everybody. Germany.
ICP, you do have to bust this little bundle of wires right there. Do have to bust that loose and get the fan motor wires out of it. And I left my knife on the edge of the table in there this morning. And I was fooling with a couple things in the shop. So, should be, that's the black. And the yellow should go to the bottom of the contactor. And then the only other one you've got is the capacitor wire, which is this brown one. If they've got those all bundled up in the same bundles as all those others, and I just poke a little bit of slack in there so it's easier to get this lid up. There we go. Well, it's really easy to pull these out. Oops. Don't tell me. So I pulled the yellow off. Yeah, there it is. It was just hooked. Alright, so anytime you see the shaft on the end like that, you know it's probably going to be pretty easy to get the blade off. Doesn't get any easier than that. Basically fell off. Lay it around there where we don't bump it. So let's pull this motor and put the other one on and get going.
Let's see what kind of Google reviews he has.
Right, uh-oh.
Well, they're 5 stars, man.
No,
they're 5 stars.
I already told you that.
So anyway,
I'm going to read this. I was going to read it while I was on the air, but he had to go.
I called in just to get a few. A few minutes on the.
Truly cares about his work.
So, anyway, I got the motor on. I got the blade a little lower than the other one was, and I'm going to sit it down in there, and I'm going to see what it looks like, and I'm going to see how low I can get this.
He's a really good guy. He really
I think they're rousting me for hanging up, but I did have to get back to work.
I know. We even got.
So the thing is, they're supposed to be entertaining me. So, nonetheless, I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to get this blade adjusted as high up in this cage as I can and get this thing fired up. Alright, now I see what's going on here. Look at the difference in those two motors. So that's why the blade was on the end of the shaft on that one, and why it looks so odd where it's at. So we're going to adjust this down a bit and get it on there. Alright, this is as far up as it'll go, and it looks like about half the blade is in the shroud, but the indention on the shaft for the flat spot stopped it from going any further, but it is up there pretty well. and you can see how much of the blade is actually in the shroud, so that should work good. And actually I did have to go get a few more tools. I needed the which one is it? I needed the brown bit for those for the bigger bolts there, and I needed you know, so I copped out and I went and got a drill. Try to do everything with 2 or 3 little things you can put in your pocket. So we're gonna put these wires back on, get us another zip tie around all those, put the new cap in, and get it fired up. Tell you what, this thing is so hard to get back here and see. Let's see what's going on here. Get this black wire back in.
Could be educational too. Could be.
Sounds like those guys.
You never know what's going to happen. It's really
Let's
kind of
sign
scary
off.
and exciting at the same time.
So, had such a hard time that I had to slide the unit over, and just looking at the line set I realized it wouldn't hurt it. And I had to unmount the board, and as you can see from trying to reach up in there and put the black wire back on, I bent the stake-on over to the side. So I'm gonna have to go get a really thin screwdriver or something to poke that and bend that back straight with, because as we established earlier, I've left my knife on the counter in the shop doing something. So let's get something to fix that with, and we'll put this thing back together and fire it up. Alright, so let's see if we can get this thing bent back out. There we go. Now, should be able to get the black wire on, which I'm going to do before remounting it. Okay. Now, we'll mount the board back. It's another thing I like about ICPs. They're so easy to work on when you don't stick them up in the wall, because you see you know how they slide right down in that little place there. And when you slide the mounts in there like that, it'll almost stay, but you only have to put 1 screw in. I took it out of this bottom side over here. So it's pretty sporty. See that 1 screw there holds the board in. So, you know, in my opinion, that's a pretty good design on a board mount. Much better than the plastic standoffs that we use. Here comes the helicopter. Well, I tell you, that was no fun wiring back in that corner. Look at that. Ridiculous. So anyway, the customer came out just to see how it was going, like they often do. So we should be able to fire this thing back up now. And it's a 2-blade fan. It's probably going to turn backwards. It's blowing straight up too. This one's doing well. These newer ICPs that have this bubble design fan brace here actually do travel air out of it better. so I'll stick a gauge on it right quick, even though that's not going to be fun either. Make sure this thing's full of refrigerant. Alright, she's up and running. And so, in order to check the refrigerant right quick, hoping that nothing is wrong, I pulled a John Israel and I stuck my little gauge here. And as you can see, it is terribly low on R22. And I'll tell you why I say I pulled a John Israel. He was the first one I saw with these. I had seen them in supply houses, but I had just never, you know, I thought that's somewhere to sit on top of something in a commercial application or whatever. I just never really thought of what it might be for, and never had bought any. And I watched Steve Ladd's channel probably before I watched anybody's, and somehow one of Israel's videos got suggested, so I started watching his too, and he was kind of funny, you know. He would carry on and make smart remarks, and so I started watching that. It was way before I ever started arguing with him. And I saw him with these little quick check gauges, and I'll tell you what, I've only used them a couple times, but normally it pays off. That time all it did was showed me I needed to go get my gauges. So let's get some gas in this thing. Alright, that's the first time the little quick check gauges ever busted me. We are definitely at about 40, 38 to 40 on the suction side. Let's throw some in and see if we can get this thing to charge up and behave well. Yeah, every time I take the little, I think he calls them Z manifold gauges or something. I can't remember. It's just a little shorty quick check gauge. And every time I've ever stuck them on a unit, it's just been a confirmation. Yeah, everything's fine. We got the red one and the blue one, but probably used them a handful of times. And I thought, yeah, here's a good spot. I'll just lean over and stick it on there. And nope, go get the other ones and carry the jug over here. So let's see what we can do. There's warming up coming out of it now. All right. That's where we're going to leave it. I am pleased that our head pressure did not exceed 200. We got it on 70, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't have to clean the coil. We've got a couple more calls, so I do need to get out of here. So I'm going to fight one more time to lean down in there and unhook these. That one just satisfied. Look at that blade spinning backwards. And that one's got 3 in it. So anyway, I'm going to fight my way down in there and unhook these and give them some good pressure and get out of here. Alright, they're happy. They're really nice people. And he's a really nice guy, and he kind of helicoptered a little bit there a couple times, and especially in the house, which you certainly understand that when you're inside of somebody's house, they're pretty much gonna stay with you. So I mean, we've had a few of them just sit on the couch and say, you know where it is, you know, and just keep watching golf or whatever. But so I couldn't get any footage, but we were getting 19 degrees of delta. So, you know, it was putting out 71 degrees and it was taking in 90. The thermostat actually said 93, but the return air grill read 90, and it was putting out 71, so that was pretty good for a worn R22 ICP machine. Unfortunately, we had no way to really test the machine at all until we got a fan motor in it. So we put the OEM motor in, did the best job we could, only to fire it up and find out, hey, we're low on R22, so this thing's got a refrigerant leak. It's definitely not coming out of the caps or any of the weld joints. Took a quick look in the attic, and of course he went up in front of me and turned on the light for me, and he asked a couple questions, you know. So people want to know things, and so I couldn't get any footage of the inside part of that, finishing it up or anything. But I did enjoy calling in to Ralph and Zach. They were on Zach's live radio station there, and I got the text and I said, hey, I'll listen to them while I'm working. And then I said, what the heck, I'm going to call in, see what happens. And sure enough, they answered. So I did get to talk to them for a few minutes. So my other guy got caught up and was able to go grab one more additional from what we had planned on, which means I've only got 2 more to go. So I'm actually hoping the phone doesn't ring today. It would suit me if it didn't ring until Monday, but I think we all know better than that this time of year. It's going to ring off the hook. So we might get a decent time off today, but we'll find out. So let's head to the next one. Thanks for watching.